everybody, this is Wow Haha, and I want to apologize because I have not made a mall video in quite a while. I've just been very busy, my life's been kind of crazy, but I am very excited to be back and making videos for you guys. So today we're going to be talking about the Euclid Square Mall in Euclid, Ohio, which is a suburb of Cleveland. So, the mall was originally developed by Jacobs, Visconti & Jacobs, which is a mall developer that is known for putting art, especially sculptures, throughout their malls and sunken seating. They've developed a few other malls in the U.S. that I can think of off the top of my head, like Citadel Mall in Charleston, South Carolina, Jamestown Mall in Florissant, Missouri, and Chesterfield Mall in Chesterfield, Missouri. So the Euclid Square Mall opened in March 1977 and featured 92 tenants, as well as 2 anchor stores, which were Higbee's and May Company. The mall was 1 level, but the anchor stores were both 2 levels. Big box stores, restaurants, banks, and stuff like that opened on the out parcels in front of the mall facing the highway. The mall thrived for the next 1.5 decades. 2 anchor changes occurred in the early 1990s. Dillard's acquired Higbee's in 1992, and in 1993, the May Company was merged into Kaufmann's, so the mall's anchors were now Dillard's and Kaufmann's. Minor renovations were done to the interior in 1994. Sometime between 1994 and 1998, Jacobs sold the mall to Metropolitan Life Insurance. This is when things started to look down for the mall as crime increased in the area and larger malls were drawing shoppers away from Euclid Square. This prompted Kaufmann's to announce that they would build a new store at Richmond Town Square across town. I personally think that they saw the writing on the wall and they were like, we need to get out of this mall. I think things are going to end badly here. I think a decline is coming soon because the mall was somewhat average size, but it wasn't large enough to compete with a lot of the other malls in the Cleveland metro area. The mall was then sold to Zemias Enterprises of Pennsylvania in January 1998 for $16.5 million in cash. At this time, the mall was about 85% occupied, which is pretty healthy for a mall. I mean, that's not bad. However, Kaufmann's moved to Richmond Town Square Mall in November 1998, which was the final nail in the coffin for the mall, and stores began leaving at a very alarming rate. The owners, Zemias Enterprises, they were planning on demolishing Euclid Square and turning it into a power center with big box stores. However, these plans never came to fruition. The mall was then sold in 2000 to mall slumlord Haywood Wichard of North Carolina, whose only interest in the property was to resell it for profit, which is something that you would expect from Haywood Wichard. By 2001, the occupancy rate had dropped to 13%. This was a very dramatic decrease from the occupancy just 3 years prior. Just 3 years prior, the mall had a decent, strong roster of stores. Dillard's converted to a clearance center in 2002, and the upper level of the store was shuttered. The last inline tenant at the mall, Dollar Bank, closed in 2003. This left Dillard's Clearance Center as the last remaining tenant. Thankfully, the mall was sold to Ted Litchko in 2004. This probably saved the mall from being almost entirely vacant for the rest of its existence. Revitalization was attempted under Ted Litchko's ownership. Not long after they bought the mall in 2004, Outlets USA, which was like a little discount mini mall with different vendors, opened in the former Kaufmann's. A few small businesses and organizations moved into the mall, as well as many churches. However, Outlets USA closed in the Kaufmann space in 2006. Despite this, revitalization helped keep the mall open for a few more years. The mall only featured around 10 to 15 retail stores at a time. However, there were more organizations and churches that aren't included, probably about 10. Actually, by 2013, there were 24 churches operating in the mall that drew over 1,000 people for service on the weekends. Despite the revitalization into more of a community center type mall, Dillard's Clearance Center announced on August 27, 2013 that they would be closing in September due to their lease expiring. Dillard's closed in September, leaving the mall anchorless. The mall was forcibly closed by the city of Euclid in late 2016. In September 2017, Amazon announced plans to build a huge fulfillment center on the side of the mall, and it would employ over 1,000 people. Demolition commenced later that year and was completed by mid-2018, and the new fulfillment center opened in 2019. Why do you guys think Euclid Square failed? Was it because of an increase in crime in the area, Kaufman's closing, or just competition from larger, better malls? I believe it was a combination of all three, but y'all should leave your opinions in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye!